The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, its screen glowing with my wife's message. Spa weekend with friends. No signal there. I read it twice, my thumb hovering over the reply button. The words seemed ordinary enough, but something about them felt off, like a puzzle piece forced into the wrong spot. I typed back, "Tell Jake I said hi," and hit send before I could overthink it. Jake. Her old college friend, always lingering in group photos, his grin a little too wide. She hadn't mentioned him in years, but his name slipped out of me like a reflex. I set the phone down and stared out the window, the autumn leaves swirling in the wind, wondering why my chest felt so tight. The house was quiet that weekend. Too quiet. I tried to fill it with routine, mowing the lawn, fixing the leaky faucet, anything to keep my hands busy. But my mind kept drifting back to her message. No signal. That spa resort she loved was practically a tech hub, with Wi-Fi in every corner. I'd been there with her last summer, sipping overpriced cocktails by the pool, her phone never leaving her hand. I shook my head, trying to laugh it off. I was being paranoid. She was with her friends, probably gossiping over massages and wine. But Jake's name kept circling in my thoughts, a vulture I couldn't shoo away. By Saturday night, I couldn't stand it. I grabbed my phone and scrolled through her old messages, looking for clues I might have missed. Nothing unusual, just her usual updates about work, groceries, or the kids' school events. I opened her social media, something I rarely did, and saw her last post, a blurry sunset from the spa, captioned bliss. No mention of friends, no group selfie. My stomach twisted. I typed Jake's name into the search bar, but his profile was private, just a generic photo of a mountain. I tossed the phone onto the couch and poured myself a drink, the whiskey burning more than usual. Sunday morning brought no relief. The kids were at their grandparents', leaving me alone with my thoughts. I tried calling her, but it went straight to voicemail, her cheerful voice promising to call back soon. I paced the living room, the silence deafening. Why had I mentioned Jake? It was a jab, a test, and now I regretted it. What if she laughed it off with him, the two of them sharing a knowing glance? I grabbed my keys and drove to the park, hoping fresh air would clear my head. But the families laughing and kids running only made me feel more disconnected, like I was watching someone else's life. When I got home, my phone had a new message. It was from her, back early. Home soon. No mention of Jake, no explanation for the signal excuse. I sat on the couch, staring at the words, trying to decode them. Was she rushing back because of my message? Or was the weekend cut short for some other reason? I wanted to believe it was nothing, a misunderstanding, a bad gut feeling. But the unease clung to me like damp clothes. I started dinner, chopping vegetables with more force than necessary, each slice a way to ground myself. She walked through the door that evening, her hair damp from a shower, her smile bright but tired. "Missed you," she said, dropping her bag and hugging me. I hugged her back, searching her face for something, guilt, relief, anything. But she looked the same as always, her eyes warm, her laugh easy. She chattered about the spa, the sauna, her friend's drama, but Jake's name didn't come up. I didn't bring it up either. Instead, I nodded, smiled, and passed her a glass of wine, the knot in my chest loosening but not gone. We ate dinner, the kids' empty chairs a reminder of our rare alone time. She reached for my hand across the table, her fingers cool against mine. "You okay?" she asked, her brow furrowing. I wanted to ask about Jake, about the signal, about why her story felt like it had gaps. But I didn't. I squeezed her hand and said, "Just missed you too." The words tasted like a half-truth, but they were easier than the alternative. She smiled, and for a moment, everything felt normal, like the weekend had been a bad dream. Later, as we lay in bed, her breathing soft and steady beside me, I stared at the ceiling. The house was quiet again, but it was a different kind of quiet, one that held us both. I didn't know if I'd ever bring up Jake, or if I even needed to. Maybe it was just a name, a ghost from the past I'd conjured up myself. But as I closed my eyes, I promised myself one thing. I'd pay closer attention, not to her phone or her words, but to us. To the life we'd built, the trust we'd earned. And maybe, just maybe, that would be enough.